Good morning and welcome to our therapeutic class or chair class, whatever you want to call it, our most gentle class. And this week we're looking at the idea of vibration. So last week we looked at rhythm and flow and that idea of sort of finding some ease in our body through rhythmic and flowing movements. And today I want to talk a little bit more about vibration. So vibration is a little bit more subtle and it can relate to sound or in fact, it always relates to sound. There's a sound in the vibration is the sound waves. And so last week we looked at this rhythmic butterfly hug, and we'll start with that today, and then we'll move into some optional sounding, right? So we'll make a humming sound with the throat, and it's optional. I know that for some people, making sound is uncomfortable, or if you're not in a private space, it may feel a little awkward to make sound. You can also do it really, really quietly, and it still has a really profound effect. So vibration is, again, it's really about calming things down. And if you think about the way vibration works, we can't see sound waves, but we can see the result, right? So you've probably all seen those um, videos or heard of the idea of putting, a tray of sand over a speaker, and the vibration of the speaker creates a beautiful pattern, often in the sand or whatever is on the tray. Or how water flowing past a speaker will do a different pattern as it hits that vibration. And we are actually made up largely of water. And in that, our vibration can really have this impact on our physical body and create a sense of calm and peace in our bodies. So the butterfly hug again, you're going to take your hands and cross them over with your thumbs touching, and then your fingers pointing on an angle toward the ceiling. You can even try crossing your hands the opposite way, and it feels a little bit odd, but you can kind of mix it up a bit. And then you want to make sure your fingertips are below your collarbones, so you're not patting your collarbones. And then it's simply one side and the other. And this is just a way of bringing us into the moment, finding some rhythm and flow in our systems. Tuning into your breath as you do this simple patting motion, tapping the body one side, then the other. Feel where your body makes contact to the earth as you do this. So if you're sitting on the ground or your feet are on the ground, and having a sense of softening into that support as you tap, and coming back to your breath in between, making sure that you're breathing. And then let your hands come to stillness, holding the hands over the center of the chest for a couple of breaths. And feeling into the earth and your connection to the earth through what's touching the earth, your body. Relax your jaw. One more breath here. And then you can go ahead and release. And you can be standing, sitting, whatever is comfortable for you. I'm just standing, so I'm a little closer to the computer for now, but you're welcome to be seated in whatever way is comfortable for you. So the next one will, as I said, make some sounds. So we'll use two sounds today. So one is a sound with the mouth closed, a humming sound. So it's very, very simple. And the second one is a more open, airy sound, and it's to drop the jaw. And it's really the same sound, but with a different mouth position. So instead of it's ah. So we'll start with the humming sound. And the humming breath has been scientifically proven through work they've done on this to calm the nervous system. Now, that doesn't mean that it's absolutely going to have that effect on you, but it can have that effect, and it's been shown consistently to have that effect on the nervous system. So it brings us down to this calm place, calmer place. If you're already really calm, great. See what happens when you try this breath, so humming breath. So when you're ready, inhale, and in your own time, and continue in your own breath break. You can close your eyes if you like and tune into the vibration in your body. We'll do a few more, and this time really feel your shoulders drop as you exhale. Wonderful. So breathing normally for a few breaths. Just tune in and notice what you're aware of. So maybe notice the temperature of your body, any kinds of tingling or sensation that may be present. Feel into your throat, your jaw, your face. Maybe notice if you can feel that resonance anywhere in particular in your body. For me, I feel it more in my head than in the skull, but you may feel it somewhere quite different. Yeah, I might feel it in your chest. So we're going to bring in a little bit of movement now. So again, you can be seated on the floor or on a chair, and we'll bring that humming breath into a little bit of movement. So the cat-cow, we often start out with that movement because it moves the whole spine, and we'll go there now, but we'll use the humming breath on the exhale again. So you'll inhale and lift the heart, create some space, and then exhale, humming as you round. Continuing at your own pace. And letting the sound go, do a few more, just breathing quietly to yourself. After your next exhalation, return your spine to a neutral position, upright position. And let's lift the arms up Bend the elbows a little, find a little lift in your heart, and then exhale, come to a forward bend. So hands can come to the thighs or the ground if you happen to be sitting on the floor. And we'll repeat that a few times. So lifting and coming forward. Let your head release forward as you come into that forward bend position so you can allow the neck a little more ease. Right, and then next time you're upright, you can just release the arms back down. Now I'll invite you to bring your hands onto the abdomen, onto your belly, and see if you can let your belly relax. So often we're kind of holding tension in the abdominal area. It's very common to hold tension there. Let's see if you can soften this area. And as you take a few breaths, and it could be slightly deeper breaths to help you come into this feeling, see if you're aware of any movement around your abdominal area as you breathe. It may be very subtle. You might not feel much movement at all, and in which case you might move your hands up a little bit to your rib cage, or just find a place where you do feel some movement. Right. And then if it helps you, you can leave your hands on your belly. If it feels more relaxing for your shoulders, you can just let your hands relax on your legs. And with that soft belly on the breath, especially on the inhale, really softening. And then on the exhale, we'll open the jaw, and I really encourage you to open your mouth wide. So again, the jaw area, we hold a lot of tension here. I'm really guilty of this one. I've been known to clench and sort of grind my teeth at night when I'm sleeping, and I can feel that tension sometimes in my jaw. So really encourage you to open your mouth wide, and we'll make the sound ah on the exhale. So soft belly as you inhale. Holding only as long as is comfortable for you, and we'll repeat several times. One more. And let the sound go. Pause for a moment, completely relaxed breath, absolutely normal, just without controlling it. And notice what you're aware of now. So you might feel a little tingling or vibration in your body. Maybe you feel some spaciousness. Maybe you feel more tension. You're aware of where your tension is more. So notice whatever is true for you. So not trying to fabricate any particular experience, but really having the one that you're having. Even if it's a frustration, I have no idea which is talking about this vibration. I've noticed that. Let's add a little bit more movement for the spine and a twist now. So take the arms up with the breath in, no sound this time. Exhale, twisting to one side. You can use the hand behind you on the chair or the ground to help support length in your spine. Coming back to center, twisting the other way. So every time you come into the twist, you want to think about lengthening, lifting up as you twist. You're not putting a lot of pressure or leverage against your leg, just supporting that gentle twist. One more to either side. Okay, this time coming back to the center and releasing the hands onto your knees or thighs. And we'll come back to the cat-cow movement, this time without sound, just moving, maybe coordinating with the breath if that feels good. So inhaling as you extend or arch the back, and exhaling as you round, flex the spine. So again, let's come back to a neutral position. Feel your sit bones underneath you, the crown of your head extending up towards the ceiling, shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. And take a moment to notice what sensations are present for you now. So we've been working with this idea of tuning into more subtle sensations this session. So notice what's present for you now. And if there's pain or discomfort, feel free to notice that, but see if you can not dwell with all your attention there. So you notice those areas and then go looking in your body for somewhere that feels good or neutral, right? Absence of discomfort. From here, whether you're on a chair, or if you're on a chair, if you're on the floor, you should be fine where you are. But if you're on a chair, you may want to take your legs a little wider just so that you're well balanced as we create some circles with the torso. So letting your chest come towards one thigh, the other, and back up. Move slowly, and again, really tune into what you notice, what you're aware of. And you can always modify anything that I suggest to make it more comfortable for you. So that might mean smaller circles or more of an oval shape than a circle. Really tuning in, so not going past your own threshold here. If you're circling, go the other direction if you haven't already switched. And see what changes when you approach from the other way. And then let's come back to the center. Just placing the feet wherever they're comfortable, and we'll do some circles for the wrists. And circle one way and the other. And notice all the sensations. Any clicking or other sounds that you might experience, notice those. And then give the hands a little shake. Shaking kind of shakes up our vibration as well. So shake the arms up, shake them out, shake them down. Okay, get your shoulders involved. And then let the hands rest for a moment. You can close your eyes, and you might now be aware of some sensations of vibration in your arms and shoulders. Again, you might not, because it can be very subtle. So notice what's true for you. If you don't feel much, don't think that you've done something wrong. Just notice what you do feel, even if it's not much at all. So we'll continue to do some work with the hands. I'm going to come a little closer to the screen in case you need to see. But you can place your palms resting on your thighs, or palms up, resting on your thighs. That way your arms can relax. I'm just holding mine up a little higher so you can see. And you're going to take your thumb to the base of your index finger And you're going to take your thumb and run it all the way down to the end of your finger. And then you're going to take your finger, run it down to the base of your thumb. The other fingers want to curl. And then you'll come up to the first knuckle and do a little flick. And then as we go further away from the thumb, it gets a little more challenging. So my other fingers want to bend. So your thumb comes to the base of your middle finger, and you're going to run up to the tip. And then you're going to take your finger and run it down to the base of your thumb. And then back to that first knuckle and a little flick. And then if you can reach over to your fourth finger, your ring finger, you're going to start at the base or as close to the base as you can. You're going to run your thumb up to the tip and then run the tip down to the base of your thumb. This gets a little trickier. Back to that first knuckle and flick. And then the hardest one, of course, my other fingers want to help. Going to the base. Try to keep the other finger straight. Base of your baby finger. Go up to the end. Down to the base of your thumb. Up to that first joint and flick. And then just give your hands a shake. So let's try that one more time. It's actually really amazing for the hands and so much surprisingly harder than it looks. So from your base of your index finger, thumb up, finger down, and middle finger, thumb runs up, finger runs down, ring finger, thumb runs up, finger runs down, baby finger, ring up, thumb down, and then give your hands a little wiggle, and then make this squeeze tight, and then open wide, squeeze, open, squeeze, open. And then with your hands in fists, try a few movements here. It can be circles or whatever feels good. And then a little shake as you release. So let's work a little bit with the neck, the head, and the shoulders. So nice long spine, lifting the crown of the head up. And as you exhale, slowly let your chin come down towards your chest. And then slowly raise up. And slowly turn your head to one side until you feel that gentle little first bit of restriction. Pause there. And then slowly take your head across to the other side again, noticing when you feel restriction. Pausing there. Go back to the center. We'll go back to the first side. So going until you feel that gentle restriction, and then a little slow half circle, sweeping the chin across the front of the chest, up to one side, and then back across to the first side. So you can go side to side like that a few times. Okay, and then letting the chin come back down towards the front of the chest. See if you can let the weight of your head create a little bit of stretch. Try to keep your spine upright. And then as you're ready, very slowly, lifting your head and see if you can imagine lining your ears up over your shoulders, chin slightly down, shoulders over your hips. So you're balanced with the bones of your body supporting you. And then take a moment to imagine that long line from the base of your spine up through the crown of your head, your sit bones anchored into the earth, crown of your head reaching up toward the sky. Maybe one or two more breaths here. And then we'll come to stand. So take your time, especially if you're sitting on the floor. And if you have a chair and you want to use it, we're going to be doing a little bit of stretches for the legs. You can use the chair to support your body weight. If you like that, I find that's kind of easiest to really get the stretch. But you can also do the same thing, just bring your hand to your thigh rather than a chair. You just want to be careful if you do that you're not pushing back against your thigh and creating a hyperextension in your knee. So if you're using a chair, you'll come maybe a foot or so away from the chair. If not, just wherever you are, taking a breath in and lifting up. And then exhale, bending and softening the knees, bringing the hands to the chair or to the thighs. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, coming forward. As always, if you prefer to move in your own flow and let the breath follow its own rhythm, that's absolutely fine. Do make sure you soften and bend your knees as you come forward and keep the spine long. So rather than rounding the back with bent knees, you can keep a long spine as you come forward, and that's going to give you a little more stretch in the legs. Okay. So this time as you come forward, you can stay for a few breaths. Again, it could be hands or forearms on the thighs, hands or elbows on the chair. Okay, and then we'll come all the way up, breathing in. And then exhaling to release. So we'll work a little bit more with these big muscles in the back of the legs, the hamstrings. And we'll do that by taking one foot ahead of the other. In the back foot, you can turn out to the side just as if we were doing warrior, and that's going to give you a little more balance and stability here. So now with a little bit of bend in your front knee, lifting the arms up, you'll come forward, hands either to the thigh or to your chair. And then think about a little bit of a lift in your tail, so your spine is long. So it's not about how far forward you go, but keeping that length in the spine, and then slowly moving your front leg a little straighter if that's available to you, and bending. So we're basically turning the stretch off and on by straightening and bending. So if you don't feel much stretch in that leg, if you feel you're bending and straightening and nothing's really happening, you might think about lifting the chest and the tail a little bit more. And as you tilt the pelvis away, it pulls on those hamstrings and creates a little more stretch. And then find the perfect spot for you. So slightly bent or straight or really bent, whatever gives you the feeling of a nice stretch that you can sustain without creating tension. Bring your awareness to where you feel the tightness. And with that awareness, you can come into that humming breath again, imagining you're sending that vibration down into your leg. So exhaling with a hum. One more breath like that. And then let's slowly bend that front leg and lift back up, taking the arms overhead and releasing. Well, let's step the feet together. You can pause here for a moment. So we're going to add a little bit of vibration to our whole body here. And here you may find doing this much easier with a chair. It's not a super challenging balance, but it can actually be more challenging than it seems. And so you'll lift your heels, bend your knees slightly, and just shake your body. Let your arms hang. Just create a little shake. Just bouncing a little on your heel, off your heels. Okay, you can add a little movement to the sides. Just try to let your body relax. And if you lose your balance, just take a step. Right, and then pause, notice, let your heels sink down. Great. All right, let's come to lie down now. And we're going to work a little bit in the hips and the legs today. So just to make your way to the ground, get comfortable. So again, you can start as you lie down with your hands on your belly or on your rib cage, wherever you're able to feel some movement of your breath. And then very quietly, just only so you can hear it, and maybe if someone's next to you, they could hear it, but someone in the other room wouldn't necessarily be able to hear your humming. So very quietly, as you inhale, letting the breath move into the belly. Exhale. So continue like that, feeling as you hum and exhale, the body, the belly, the shoulders, everything just drops. One more breath like that. Pause and breathe normally for a few breaths. And then you can let the hands come to rest on the ground. Line your feet up so your heels are more or less under your knees. They could be a little further if you feel more comfortable in the knees. Have the legs further away or heels under the knees. Feet about hip distance apart. And we'll work with the bridge pose. So in the bridge pose, we lift with an inhale, and we're going to hum as we soften and release back to the earth on the exhale. So whenever you're ready, inhale, pressing into the feet, lifting any amount that's comfortable. Even if you barely lift at all, that's fine. And then as you're exhaling, dropping down with the hum. Continue a few more at your own pace. One more. Again, as you come to the ground, let your hips, let your belly relax for a moment. Tune into what you're aware of now. So now for the next one, we're going to open one leg at a time toward the ground. So taking one knee toward the ground, opening through the inner thighs. There'll be a little bit of a twist, but the other leg stays pointing up. And then you'll bring that knee that you took down back to center and the other side. So one at a time, letting the legs open toward the ground. Don't worry about how you're breathing here. Just breathe normally. Notice the weight shift across the back of your sacrum. We were looking at that a couple of weeks ago. Right, and then when you come back to the center next time, you can walk the feet in towards each other. So the knees and the ankles are together. And then we'll do the same thing, but with both legs opening. So the soles of the feet can come together, knees open. And then soles of the feet back to the ground, knees come together. You can put a little pressure into your feet at the end as you bring the knees together to rock the pelvis a little bit, bring the lower back down. And then as the knees open, your back naturally arches here. So the belly opens toward the ceiling, the lower back often lifts a little off the ground, and then knees together, gently pressing down. The hands can rest on the body or on the ground, doesn't matter. And then you can breathe in coordination with this movement if that works for you. So you're exhaling as the knees come together and you press down. Inhaling and really feeling that expansion around the belly as much as you can. There's lots of space here for the belly to expand, so use that space. Now you have a couple of options here. If you want and it's comfortable for you, you can let the legs stay open. If you've got blocks or blankets or cushions nearby that you want to use to support your legs, you can do that. If you want to keep moving, if that's a better option for you, then go ahead and keep moving. And now we're going to add that humming breath back into the exhalation. So wherever you're at, inhale normally, see if you can feel some expansion around the belly. Keep your awareness around the hips, pelvis, and belly as you hum on your exhale. letting the sound go. And slowly bring the knees back together if you've been staying. And then we'll bring the knees up into the chest, bringing them in together. One hand to each knee. You'll draw the knees forward towards you, and then straighten the arms to move the knees away. Exhale, if you're coordinating breath, draw the knees in. Inhale, away. Try to relax your jaw now. Just let the breath be natural. If it's not comfortable coordinating the breath and movement, just breathe in whatever pattern works for you. And then one knee staying in, the other foot can come to the ground. You can either interlace your hands behind your thigh if you can reach, or just let the hands rest on the ground of your body as you move the legs straighter. And it does not have to be straight. You want to feel that first little bit of stretch in the leg again, and then circle your ankle around. Keep your shoulders, face, and jaw relaxed. Hold on to the leg if it's helpful. Let go if it's not. Circle one way and then the other. If you feel like you want a little more stretch here, try pressing your heel up toward the ceiling. See how that feels. If you still feel like you want a little more stretch, you can gently encourage the leg to slowly come towards you. You want to move really slowly and tune in and notice when it feels like enough. Stop there. If you feel a strong pull at your hip, at the sit bone, you want to back off on the stretch. So ideally, you're feeling it between the knee and the hip, in the belly of the muscle. So gentle stretch here. And then when you're ready, release, hug that knee in toward your chest. And then we're going to take the ankle and bring it across the top of the other thigh, so just above the knee. You can take the hand of the foot that's up in the air, that leg, press gently against your thigh. And this might be plenty of stretch for you. If so, you can stay here, or you can just let go of the hand on the thigh. For those of you who want more stretch and it's available to you, you'll bring the legs closer to your body. So the simplest way is to take a block or a book or whatever you've got handy and place it underneath your foot, is to bring the legs a little closer. You can also take a hold of the side of your pants and gently bring the leg closer to you. Or if it's available, and this is quite a bit more advanced, one hand goes between the legs, the other on the outside, and you can interlace your fingers behind the thigh. If you get there and you think, that is way too much for me, you're going to release to whatever position works for you. And then you can rock a little bit side to side, just encouraging a bit of movement into the hips, wherever you are. And remember, more isn't better, right? So doing the most challenging position isn't better. The one that feels good to your body, that allows you a gentle stretch, where you can experience the stretch and stay relaxed and open, that's your best position. When you feel complete with that side, you can release. Bring both feet to the floor, pause for a moment and notice how one side feels compared with the other. Breathing into the belly as you notice, softening. And then we'll invite the other knee in towards the body. So again, you can hold on or not. You move the legs straighter, and for you it might still be quite bent, wherever you feel the right amount of stretches. You can hold on to your pants or behind your leg if that works for you. And then gently circle the ankle. Circling one way, circling the other way. Great. And again, if you want more stretch, a little straighter in the leg, pointing the heel toward the ceiling, maybe drawing the leg a little closer, only if that feels right for you. Finding that just right stretch where you can relax and enjoy the stretch, but you can feel it at the same time. When you feel complete with that, you're going to bring the ankle just above the opposite leg or opposite knee on the thigh. Again, start by gently pressing the leg that's up in the air slightly away from you. Check in if this is enough stretch for you, stay here, or you can back off if it feels too much. And then again, if more is desired, you can try lifting the legs in whatever way is possible for you. In fact, if you're near a chair or a couch, you can bring your lower leg onto the chair or couch, and then you can find the best place to be by sliding the leg towards you or away. So many options here, so be creative, find what works for you. If it feels good, you can rock a little side to side here. And another couple of breaths here in whatever position is good for you. Backing off or drawing in as you need to find just that right amount of stretch. And then as you're ready, slowly release. And then we'll bring the knees together into the chest. Stretch the legs together up. You can hold behind or let the arms come to the ground or overhead. And then we'll come back in toward the body. So stretching out. You can inhale as you stretch out, exhale as you draw in, or again, whatever breath pattern feels right for you. Holding the knees in this time, rock or circle, whatever movement would feel good to massage and release the low back and the hips. And then giving yourself a squeeze again. And then releasing. Bringing the feet back to the floor. The hands again can come to rest on your body so you can feel the breath. Tune in for a moment again and notice. Notice how your body feels after some movement, some vibration. Paying attention. And if there's any other movement that your body is interested in doing now before we come to stillness for Shavasana, feel free to take a minute or two, stretch and move in any way that would feel good. And I always caution you, if you decide to twist, totally fine. But before Shavasana, I would encourage you again to come back to some kind of symmetrical movement to bring your spine back into alignment before we come to relax. So take your time with whatever movement would feel good to you for a minute or two, and then you can start to make your way to either lying or sitting for Shavasana. So as always, make sure you're warm enough that you're totally as comfortable as you can be. Propping under your legs if that helps, having the knees bent, whatever works for you. As you start to settle, tuning into your breath again. So feeling the rhythm and the flow of your own breath. Having a sense of dropping down with each exhalation. Let your jaw soften. So we've been working with sound today, humming, and a little bit of the ah sound. Just making sure that you haven't brought tension around your face and jaw, but really consciously relaxing that area around your eyes, your forehead, your cheekbones, your jaw. Relaxing the throat and the neck. Feeling your shoulders drop and release. Arms and hands softening and letting go. Soften all around your rib cage. Feel the muscles that support your ribs. Relaxing, releasing as you exhale and drop down. Let the weight of your pelvis release and all the muscles of your abdominal area, lower back, all around the hips, releasing and softening. Feel the weight of your pelvis drop into the earth now. Thighs letting go, knees softening. Feel your calves releasing, shins letting go. Dropping down into your heels, arches of your feet, relaxing the toes, softening. I'll share with you today a chant that honors spirit called Purusha. And the sound ah that we made earlier is associated with spirit, with creator, with openness. It's It's also the first letter of both the English and Sanskrit alphabets. It's the most basic sound we can make. It's ah. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad Sabhumi Vishvato Vritva Atyatish Karasangulam Purusha Evedagu Sarvam Yadbhutaya Chabhavyam Bhutamritatvasya Yadamnena Tirohati Etavanasya Mahima Ato Jaya Kusha Purushaha You're ready to move out of Shavasana and start to deepen your breath a little bit. And I encourage you to bring your awareness to your jaw. Usually we start with fingers and toes, but I encourage you to open your mouth a little bit, move your jaw around, open your mouth wider, and creating some space. And then wiggle your fingers and toes, stretch and move your body in any way that would feel good. And if you're ready to come upright, you can roll onto your side first. Take your time, come back to sitting. So let's come back to the butterfly hut. So crossing the thumbs. And if you did it sort of the natural way for you earlier, try crossing the hands the other way, just for a little bit of variation. Bringing the hands again, just below, fingertips below the collarbones. And we're going to do the sound ah together 3 times while we tap. So a little bit like Tarzan. So breathing in, so you're tapping one side, then the other, and then ah on your exhale. Ah. 2 more times. And then coming to silence, pause here for a couple of breaths and notice what you're aware of. And then releasing the hands, bringing them together. And I encourage you, as always, to take this theme into your life and try taking little breaks, maybe from your work or play, and humming or making the ah sound with your voice for a few breaths, maybe 6 to 10 breaths or so. Just noticing, when you bring that into your day periodically, what the effect is for you. Namaste.